What's up, everybody? It's Andrew coming back at you with another episode of the Jaguar podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be doing a recap of the preseason matchup between the Jaguars and the Saints. But before we get into it, as always, if you want to show your support for the channel, hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon if you want updates on latest content. All right, so let's get into it. The Jags unfortunately dropped this one to the Saints, 21-23. I'm a little mixed on this game. It was very slow in the beginning. Offense didn't really show much, and then New Orleans started to kind of open up on us, and Jameis Winston started to throw some deep passes for touchdown, and it just got ugly. It was only till really the late in the second half where we started to put more points on the board. But there was some good and there's some bad. It's preseason, guys. Just you see glimpses of players. I don't think it's all telling of what we're going to see in the regular season, but it does give you kind of some insight into how players are progressing. I'm going to go or start with the good and then go into the bad. To start off in the good section, Trevor Lawrence, let's start with him. Had a pretty good game. He was sacked 3 times. I don't think that was to his fault. It was the offensive line who didn't play very well. I'll get into that in the bad section. But Trevor Lawrence, I thought, played pretty well. I'm not worried about him. I probably a little concerned that he isn't getting as many reps with this, stupid quarterback controversy that Urban Meyer had going on. But, he did look good in this game despite not getting as many reps as he should have had in camp. Had a nice little, rollout bullet pass to Travis Etienne. He evaded some of the defenders, prevented getting sacked or avoided getting sacked rather, and then delivered that nice shot to Etienne. So that was nice to see. Marvin Jones Jr., I thought he had a pretty decent game. Caught a few passes. Taven Austin, I think, was a presence in this game. He did pretty well. I also think Nathan Cottrell had a good game. I think he's the 3rd or 4th running back, rather. He had a really good game. C.J. Beathard had a really good game. Surprised all of us. I mean, threw some nice touchdown passes, handled the ball really well, didn't make any mistakes, and I think he'll be competing with Minshew for the second quarterback spot, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it. I mean, I think it's kind of up in the air. It's 50-50 who gets that spot. Minshew didn't have a good game. I'll get into that in a little bit, but that's who I thought did well offensively. Defensively, I thought DeJuan Smoot had a good game, had a sack. Chason, he looked like he got more pressure on the outside, with the pass rush, so that was nice to see. Miles Jack, I mean, people said he had a good game. I mean, he didn't make any big mistakes, so I guess that's good. I guess you could put that in the win column for Miles Jack, so that was good. The defense, if we want to go into the bad section, I think the defense, we'll start with the defense. The pass coverage was terrible. The secondary did not look good. Shaq Griffin got burnt on 2 plays. One was in the first quarter, Jameis Winston threw like a 40-yard bomb, threw it into double coverage. I didn't even think the ball was caught. It was that close. It was in double coverage. It probably should have been picked off by Shaq Griffin or Tyson Campbell, but the receiver ended up coming down with the ball. I forget who it was, but it was a pretty amazing play. Great throw by Winston, but when you have double coverage, you got to pick that ball off. It was definitely, able to be done. So that wasn't a good play. Then Shaq Griffin also got burned on a ball down the sideline for a touchdown. He just was out of position, wasn't looking at the ball, and it was a pretty amazing catch. It was like a one-handed catch. I'm blanking on who caught that one as well. I think it was Callaway. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, the secondary did not look good at all. The defensive line, I would say mainly um, the defensive tackle slash defensive end position was concerning to watch. I think from the lack of pressure that we got, on the outside. I know Josh Allen wasn't playing in this game. He was on the COVID list. Chase on looked better, but he didn't have any sacks. We just need to get more pressure, guys. I mean, our defensive line just wasn't getting pressure on Winston. He had all the time in the world to throw. He had probably more than 5 seconds to throw the ball at each snap he took. So that's not good. Need to do better there. And then some of the run support from our defensive line. We gave up some runs that were not so good, so we need to work on that. So Joe Cullen's got to get the defense squared away because it could be rough if we don't make some improvements there. If we want to go to the offensive side of the ball, Minshew did not play well. He threw a pick in the end zone. It just was a total downer. He just didn't look good. He just looked flustered. He looked like he had happy feet. He kind of turned it around on that drive where they, drove down to the end zone and, they're about to score, and then he goes and he throws that pick. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him mentally. I don't see how there was a quarterback controversy just given, how he played the past 2 games. But, maybe he turns it around in camp. Maybe he turns it around in the next preseason game against Dallas and plays better. But I think the job's up in the air right now between him and C.J. Beathard. So more to come on that. I guess we'll figure that out, who wins the job after this Sunday's game. But Minshew did not play well. The offensive line did not play well. The interior line just didn't play well. I mean, all the way from Ben Barch to Shatley to A.J. Cann, Walker Little, Jawan Taylor, they all didn't play well, in my opinion. Walker Little kind of got pushed around, bull rushed from the film that I watched or some of the replays. So I don't think he did very well. The interior, Ben Barch, it just didn't seem like we could get pushed. We couldn't run the football. We couldn't protect Trevor. He got sacked 3 times. So it's not good. George Warhop, he needs to make some changes or needs to make some improvements. I know we didn't have, 3 of our starters. We didn't have Cam Robinson. We didn't have Brandon Lindner, and we didn't have Andrew Norwell. But, I just don't think this offensive line is good, even with Cam Robinson and Norwell and Lindner. And I think Lindner is probably the best out of the 3 that were out. But I think this line is just not very good. They were, 26th in 2019 in the league. They were ranked 26th, and then 22nd last year. I don't think it's a great improvement, but they have to do better. They have to play better. They have to protect Trevor. He's going to be, on injured reserve. He's going to pull a Joe Burrow, and that's not good. We don't want that to happen. I want Trevor to be successful, just like you all want as well. So I really hope we can make some improvements at offensive line. We're going to have a big problem next season. Andrew Norwell and A.J. Cann are going to be unrestricted free agents, so we have to backfill those spots. So, what are we going to do if Norwell and Cann, don't play well in the beginning of the season? Do we decide to make a change? Do we put Barch in for Norwell? Do we trade Norwell? There's lots of possibilities. And I'll probably end up doing an episode on that. I just want to see how preseason and, early regular season starts to play out. But, I want to close out on special teams, which I didn't think was very good. I saw Lambeau miss a 43-yarder. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's psyching himself out. A lot of this stuff's mental, kicking. I had Mike Hollis on, and he really went into depth on how mental kicking is and how weird it was, with COVID, not having crowds, that does affect how you kick. That shouldn't be an issue now because we're filling the stadiums back up because COVID hopefully is winding down. But it was interesting. Check that episode out too if you're interested. Mike Hollis, really good place kicker that the Jags had in the early mid 90s to 2000s. So check that episode out. But let me know how you guys feel about this preseason game. Leave me a comment on the YouTube video or podcast episode. Love talking to you guys and getting feedback about the game and how you guys feel. Subscribe to the channel as always too. Stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy. Go Jags, and I'll see you next time.
Duval! What's up, everybody? It's Andrew from the Jaguar Podcast. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, there's more content over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as always. And remember, this is a podcast, so you can find this pretty much wherever you find podcasts. There I'll be doing interviews of current and former Jaguars players, including Joe Schobert, DeJuan Smoot, Shaq Quarterman, etc. And I also do interviews of former Jaguars players, including Natron Means, Jimmy Smith, Tom McManus, etc. So be sure to check out the podcast, subscribe to it, stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, go Jags, and I'll see you next time.